Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. So, today we're in part three of hashtag work for free. So, today I'll kind of go into how I kind of support my musical dreams with this unique approach that I follow that is called as work for free. Now, what does work for free actually even mean in such a situation? Now, what happens is that rather than going down the classic route of probably having your passions on the outside, this is how generally people go about things, is that if they're passionate about something or they probably have a business idea in mind or yeah, they're entrepreneurial in nature, they generally have that as something that they do on the sides, and then they have a job to probably support them in the midst of things. Now, what happens with this approach is generally that since your passion is on the periphery or on the outside, uh, the kind of energy that it receives is that of a hobby. And hobby is akin to relaxation or diversion, or like that's kind of what you do when you take a break. Not it's not the primary focus of what you're here on earth to do. Now that is very different, right? Like if I say that I'm here on earth for my music, which is what I'm here for, that is very different than saying that I've got a job that I do for my living, and that's how I. Sorry, my hair is being acting funny. Yes, I've got a job that helps support my everyday life, and then yeah, music is what I love to do, and it's on the periphery. Whenever I get time, I do it. Nothing wrong in it, but it's not something that has the ability to really like change your life completely. It's not something which has the ability to enter your primary stream in a way that it has a deep impact on your soul, in a way that it brings a certain kind of satisfaction that otherwise cannot be achieved. What this approach generally tends to have is that it's wishy-washy, it's not that powerful enough, and yes, you do get time for your music, which is better than not having it at all, but it's doesn't cut it at the age of whatever 60, 70. Whenever you're looking back at your life, are you going to be happy that oh wow, I spent so many hours in an office that I do not like, and that's how my life was, and I got a little bit of time to do what I was passionate about. Are you going to be happy about that, about the hours that you spent in your office doing something that you don't like, supporting your music, which or whatever your entrepreneurial dream, which you feel like, man, that's what I'm here for? Are you gonna, is that what your you know future holds for you? Are you fine with that? Like, just ponder over it. Like, when I thought about it, I was scared as hell. I was really petrified by the idea that you know things can actually go down that road, and it's for me, it's really terrifying that uh, for, music's not my main thing, and it's just something on the side, and it's an extremely terrifying feeling for me. So I ended up choosing the second route. The second route is that you go balls deep and you go all out. You go balls deep, you go all out. You find a way that you really cut through it and take up a really yeah, just take the plunge. That's how I got into music school. It was way out of my current situation that I was in. I was already on a nice track going into a so-called life that I would not have really enjoyed, but yeah, like I had to take the shift, and it was a really big shift, and it was scary as hell, but I stuck by it. And now what happens is music has kind of gone into the center. it's sound or music, or it could, yeah, just as whenever I say music, just replace it with whatever is your dream. Yeah, you might be an artist, you might be an entrepreneur, you might have a business idea, you might have a product that you're coming up with that you're really passionate about. You're probably, yeah, developing something that you really love. And so whatever that is, if you can actually take the plunge and make that as the center of your focus, at least internally, when you make that as the center of your focus, that I'm here, if you could have a certain mentality in which you're like, I'm here on earth so that in the next 20, 30, 40, whatever years it is, when I look back on my life, I'll realize that I've really spent all this time developing that idea which was pregnant inside of me, bringing that to life. And that's how I've spent my life, loving each moment of the experiments, the failed experiments sometimes that I did in my field, but it wasn't my field. I failed within my own backyard, and there's pride in saying that rather than saying that I worked a job for 40 years, which I didn't love, and on the side I got to do what I kind of was here for, which I never achieved. So you get the shift of perspective. The shift of perspective just takes this internally. Now what happens is, now that for me, like music is internal now, it's like the center. Now when I look outwards, there is literally no I would say regret, ugliness, or a sense of lack of purpose, or a sense of I'm not doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, or a sense of like being misdirected, or a sense of this does not feel right, this does not feel ethical. Like none of that, it's just not there. So now what happens is it really opens me up, because what happens is when you are actually taking your entrepreneurial urge and taking it right inside, taking it really inside, and you're making that the core of your life, you're devoting yourself to it, you're investing in that seed. When you're doing that, when you've invested in that seed, in that drive, in that beautitude that you have so deep inside of you, what it does is it puts you in a kind of space where you're actually very, very, very deeply satisfied. And it's satisfaction of a level in which the very root of your soul is in touch with immediate nutrition, which you're giving it each day by following your dreams. Because what happens is this so called dream which you had, right? I'll just give the music example, but this so-called dream, this entrepreneurial dream which you have, you're living it each day. And the act of living it each day is nourishing the very root of your soul. So the soul is so close to the its own nourishment. So if you look at it in terms of like if the soul is the so-called seed of the entire tree of the plant, uh, it's very close to a soil which has a lot of nutrition, which has a lot of, it's rich with water and it's not dry. So in such an environment, what happens is anything which grows with a lot of ease, and it's just very easy to achieve abundance. And anything that you might grow on top of this, the success that you get is baked in. It's literally baked and drenched in satisfaction. Because you might have heard this a lot, that when people say that you need to get successful, to realize that it's not all that. Now when they're saying this, they've gone external for success. They haven't first gone internal, and then they haven't first had satisfaction then gone for success. They've literally directly gone for success in a very unconscious way. That means that you went for success thinking that is what is going to give you satisfaction, while it's actually the other way around. That you find the root of satisfaction and then you start building on top of that. You build a life of satisfaction on top of finding your satisfaction. And when you do that, it's eventually going to give fruits. And those fruits are going to be poignant with success, and they're going to, their inherent DNA is satisfaction. So anything that you literally build on top of that is unbelievably uh, deeply nourishing. It's just deeply, deeply, deeply nourishing. So it's an excellent way of doing that. And what what it really does is it opens you up to the other possibilities then, because you've already kind of mixed satisfaction with success. Now you can expand and go on to the outside world and take up opportunities which you otherwise would have cringed upon, and nothing really happens internally. You are unshaken, unfazed, and there's a certain ease about how you go about things and how you attract things as well. And kind of this is how I went about it. And other than my music going really well and me enjoying my life doing it and dedicating it to it, I have attracted beautiful high ticket sales offers which have come in and are supporting my music in a certain way, are supporting my music in a way that I can continue to do exactly what I'm here for, exactly what I love. And working in it doesn't feel one bit ugly, because I was told a lot of things, and I could feel it when I was told that I was told by people who are not satisfied but are going after success. I could really feel it, but now I kind of know it, because the more I do it, the more I love it. Like, I'm right now also doing network marketing. I'm doing affiliate marketing, which is affiliated with my music, but it doesn't feel one bit ugly. I'm able to do it with the same amount of drive. I'm able to do it with the same amount of passion, because it's an extension of my music. There's a huge difference. It's not that I'm doing this and then going back and doing my music as a hobby. There is a huge difference in it. Music's at the center of it, and this is in the periphery. And yeah, music's at the root of it with the nourished soil, and now the branches are going outside. They're growing outwards. There is no yeah, there's no really brick wall in this. There's nothing like coming in its way. So seems to be working out perfectly fine. So in a way, like, that's how my music's kind of being supported right now. And I'm sorry about my hair. In this next episode that is going to be aired tomorrow, which I'm shooting right now, we're going to be dealing with, like, the details about this offer that I have, and which I would love to share with you guys as well. And anybody who's willing to go on such a journey, find what satisfies them deeply, and then attach themselves or attract something which is so-called worldly, run-of-the-mill, everyday life opportunities that everybody has anyways, but they don't find meaning and joy in it, because the soul ain't satisfied and the center is quite empty. And that is what leads to everything you see around yourself: depression, lack of meaning, loss of value. Things ain't fulfilling you, no matter how you feel, how much you feel them. And the list goes on and on and on. So, anyways, rather than speaking about that, we'd speak about the positive things. So, I would like to tell you about what I'm associated with, how I attracted it, how you can do that as well. And today's thing was more about, like, yeah, how to get your thing into the center. And tomorrow's episode we'll kind of deal with what have I attracted, what have I got myself into. Yeah. So bye for today, and tomorrow we're going to be dealing with that, the offer that I'm working with. Ciao. Bye for now.